Eagles fans, what's good? What's good? What's good? How y'all feeling today? This is your guy, Tone DeShields the second from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. First and foremost, truly appreciate you guys for coming, locking in on the content. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more if you guys are new to the channel. And if you guys have been loyal to the channel, loyal to the soil from the very beginning, you already know what my heart is. And you know how we get down here at Chalk It Up Sports Philly. Man, oh man, oh man. It feels pretty good to be an Eagles fan, does it not? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. It feels oh so good to be an Eagles fan. Now, we are not out of the woods yet. Our record is still 5-6. We're a game under 500. But from this point forward, the schedule, the schedule is on our side. Now, when you think about the teams we have coming up, we have, let me make sure I check my Palm Pilot. Give me a moment. We have we got the New York Giants. Then after the New York Giants, we have the New York Jets. Then after the Jets, we got the Washington football team. Then we got the New York Giants again. Then the Washington football team again. Then the Dallas Cowboys. So this stretch of games for us is really, really putting us in position to make a playoff push. Do you guys believe that we can make it? I believe at this point in the season, if the team continues to do what they've been doing since about week 8, week 9, we are bound to get a playoff spot. Because I don't see another team being able to run with us. I don't see another team being able to stop us from running the rock. That's just how I feel about it. Like I said, if you guys are just popping into the live stream, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to my content, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well to make sure you guys know any given time, any given day, any given Sunday when I go live, you guys will be able to be reminded. You guys will know what's going on in my world, and I'll be able to check things out what's going on in your world, man. You guys make this content go. This content, this channel, this live stream is nothing without you guys. So let's see what's going on with the people right now. We got got my man Jay Young. What's going on, Jay Young? How you feeling, my man? Rock the artist. How you feeling, my brother? You already know it's hurt season. We got our male turtle. Okay. He says I think we're winning out as long as we stay healthy. I dig that. JJ, what's going on? He says, and Dallas probably resting guys last game. To your point, I'm not exactly sure about that now. Listen, the NFC is at a deadlock right now. The Packers lost. Who else lost? Dallas Cowboys lost. The Buccaneers, they're 6-3. See, there are so many teams in the NFC right now that are 6-3, and then you got the Arizona Cardinals, who are the number 1 seed. So right now, it seems like the Dallas Cowboys will be playing their starters, in my opinion, because I don't think it's going to be a clear cut. They're a clear cut favorite to get that number 1 bye, that first week bye, or that first round bye in the playoffs. Right now, the Cardinals look like they're going to be the ones to get it because they're doing things even with their backup Colt McCoy. Nina Austin, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you so much for locking in on the live stream. Really appreciate you as always. But yes, we got some people on the live stream right now, and I really appreciate you guys as always. The schedule for us right now, thus far, is looking like we can really make a strong playoff push. None of these teams that we're coming up against are going to be remotely competitive, in my opinion. Now, listen, we got to acknowledge the fact that rivalry games are still rivalry games. Let me not get too ahead of myself. The New York Giants, they are a dumpster fire. They just fired their offensive coordinator and Jason Garrett, and now they're going to have Freddie Kitchens, the former Cleveland Browns head coach, taking over for calling plays. So right now, it looks like we are going to just smack the New York Giants around. But we have to keep in mind the Washington football team, they were able to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, something we were not able to do. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're better than us, but it means that they are playing competitive football. These guys believe they can make a playoff push just like us. So it's going to be imperative for us to not sleep on our opponents. It's going to be imperative for us to not play with our food anything can happen on any given Sunday. But I got some topics lined up for you guys that I want to really put on the table because so much has happened. This season has been a roller coaster ride for all of us. Earlier in the season, we thought we had something going in week one, and then we just went on a downward spiral week two, week three. We just weren't really able to play complementary football. One week, the offense shows up and defense doesn't show up. Then the defense shows up, but the offense doesn't show up. And then next thing you know, special teams may make a boneheaded play and they may let a guy get too many yards so they can have good field position. And then there was a point where we didn't really know which Jalen Hurts we were going to get. We didn't know which type of Nick Sirianni we were going to get, which Jonathan Gannon we were going to get. There were so many unknowns about this Eagles team coming into the season and throughout the season. But once we got to week 8, things started to click for us. We started to establish who we were. We started to understand the fact that we are built to run the ball. Our offensive line arguably is the best offensive line in this NFL, especially based off what we've been doing. Now, it's without question we're the best when it comes to running the ball as it pertains to our offensive line. I would still say we're top 5, top 10 in pass protection. But our run game, the offensive line has really put us in position. These running backs have been doing their jobs, putting us in position. The Jalen Hurts effect has been putting us in position. And Nick Sirianni, the head coach, has taken it upon himself to understand that, look, this team is not built to do what I really want to do. But we have to play according to our strengths, and that's run the rock. We have a dual threat quarterback who's capable of doing so many different things. So it was imperative for Nick Sirianni to finally establish an identity for this team and get this team back to playing winning football because the team is talented to a degree. We have some guys who are extremely competitive and want to win football games. And I think we're finally at that point in the season where we know who we are. We know what we want to do to teams. And now it's up to the opponent to want to stop us or have to stop us, rather. But let's get into a topic that's been on my mind lately. And I think it's about time we have this conversation. I want to ask you guys a question because this has been on my mind. Has Jalen Hurts done enough to prove that he can be the guy? Has Jalen Hurts done enough to prove that he is and can be the franchise quarterback? Because look, let's be totally honest, you guys. Jalen Hurts is in prime position to take over this spot. He's in prime position. Now, we have done a lot of things to put Jalen Hurts in position. We've done a lot of things to put this coaching staff has done a lot to put this team in position. Let's not discount these guys. Now, some say he's not throwing the ball enough. His deep ball still needs work, and his accuracy still needs work, and his pocket presence still needs work, right? But if you watch these games, if you watched him from week 8 up until this point, you literally see the growth. You see the development. You see the pocket awareness before your very eyes. You see him learning to keep his eyes downfield, extending the play. You see him not necessarily looking to run all the time. But what this coaching staff has done, they've added in more design runs so they can actually utilize what this man does well, and they can actually take advantage of the opponent's eager pass rush and also keep their linebackers at bay. Because with a guy like Jalen Hurts, you don't necessarily know what he's going to do because of the RPO, because of the dominant running backs, because of the offensive line schemes and what this team is able to do. But has he done enough to prove that he can be the future of this team? I'm going to say he has, and he's trending in that direction to keep the position. Let's be totally frank about this. In his rookie season, he only completed 52% of his passes, and that was a 4-game stretch, maybe a 4.5 game stretch, really. But he only played half of the final game and half of the Green Bay game. So he played 4 complete games, right, when you think about the quarters. But Jalen Hurts has done a lot, has progressed tremendously from his rookie season to his sophomore season. Like I said, his rookie season, he was completing 52% of his passes. This season, he's completing 62% of his passes. Really think about that. That's a 10% increase from his rookie season to a sophomore season. Now, granted, 62% is a little below the league average. I believe the league average is about 64%. But he's trending in the right direction for a guy who's only had about, I want to say, 14 career starts in this NFL. We have to give him credit for that. We have to. Shout out to my man Eagle Censored. How you feeling, my man? JJ says it's crazy. We have so many young guys on the offensive line. Mailata, Dickerson, Driscoll, all play a lot and all 24 or under. And Dillard is 25 and has played some time too. Offensive line has a very bright future. I agree with you. This offensive line is playing bully football. This is the kind of football I love. No one can go toe to toe with us when it comes to running this rock. And I firmly believe that. You think about what we did against the number one rushing defense, the number one defense that stops the run. They were, and I repeat, they were limiting teams to only 73 yards a game, not even 4 yards a carry. I believe a little above 3 yards a carry, they were limiting guys to. They met the Philadelphia Eagles in week 10. And we laid over 200 rushing yards on this team. The last time we played them and the last time they gave up over 200 yards rushing was when we played them last season, Jalen Hurts' first start. It's safe to say Jalen Hurts owns the New Orleans Saints as of right now. It's safe to say this New Orleans Saints defensive line will always have trouble with this Philadelphia Eagles offensive line as we're presently constructed. But like I said, my question, has Jalen Hurts done enough to prove that he can be the franchise guy? Rock the Artist says, yup. Eagles Uncensored says yes. Jay Young says yes. Anthony Dwayne says yes. JJ says, I think he's so clutch. I think so. He's clutch as hell. That's another thing you bring up, man. That's a beautiful point. Let's put this up. He says, I think so. He's clutch as hell. You're absolutely right, JJ. You think about the games where teams were starting to get a little close, or we had to put a team away. He just refuses to lose games. He refuses to put this team in bad positions. He knows how to control the rock. He knows how to keep the rock close. He rarely turns the ball over. You think about that Carolina Panthers game. He willed us into that win. You feel what I'm saying? You think about the Denver Broncos game. He willed us to that win. We dominated, but he did his thing. The previous game against the New Orleans Saints, he dictated the pace. The New Orleans Saints were beginning to come back, and I'll admit there was a moment in that game where I was, "Whoa, are we going to lose? Are we going to give this game up?" And then Jalen Hurts got to a point where he said, "You know what? I'm taking over." And then he hit the New Orleans Saints defensive lineman with the you know what I'm saying, he hit him with the Dougie. You feel what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts, man, you're absolutely right, JJ. I think he's so clutch, and I think that comes with his mentality. And Jay Young, man, you're right. That nasty juke, man, come on now. JJ also says there's room for improvement, but he's getting better for sure. And that's what you want to see with a young QB. JJ says he's going to put in the time off the field. Jay Young says facts. Anthony Dwayne says you're not going to find anyone in the draft better than him, and he's not a finished product. He's going to get better and better. The Eagles would be stupid to give up on him. JJ says his deep ball has looked a lot better the last few weeks. He dropped the freaking dime to Quez in the end zone against Denver, but Quez dropped it. You're absolutely right. I firmly believe Jalen Hurts has been improving week by week. He's nowhere near a finished product. That's the dope part about it. He's only in year 2, and he's only started 14 games. And he really wasn't getting the attention he needed as far as development last year because we had Carson Wentz as the starter, and those guys weren't really looking to develop Jalen Hurts. They were just looking to use him as a security blanket in case something happened with Carson Wentz. But Jalen Hurts came in and provided us with the ultimate spark. And Jalen Hurts is continuing to add a spark to this offense that we haven't seen in quite a long time. I want to tell you guys something. I want to put some numbers on the board for you guys. As of week 11, as of this week, Jalen Hurts is on pace to finish the season with over 4,500 total yards, 32 touchdowns, that's passing and rushing combined, and only 8 interceptions. And right now, he's at a 62% completion percentage. He's on pace to finish the season with those numbers. That's not passive at all. That's not ass at all. This man has come in and made it a point to punch guys in the mouth. He's made it a point to prove doubters wrong. And I believe he's on pace to do so if he hasn't done so already. Dagamichi says, yes, just can't let him end up like RG3. He's getting better as a passer, though. You're absolutely right, man. He's getting so much better as a passer. You're literally seeing the accuracy developing before your eyes. There was a pass he threw to Goddard near the sideline, and it was one of those passes where, as though, if the ball is placed just a tad off, the DB can pick it off. But he placed the ball perfectly, right where Dallas Goedert was the only guy that was able to get it and threw it to him in stride. You're starting to see these signature moments from Jalen Hurts, especially in the passing game, with him just standing tall in the pocket. You're starting to see him in situations where he normally will run, probably take off for 10 or 15 yards, and he's throwing a rock, and he's getting about 15 to 20 plus yards on the throw. Now, look, like I said, the offense, the coaching staff isn't asking Jalen Hurts to throw the ball 30 plus times a game. That's not what they're asking for him to do. And I'm glad. They're actually asking him to go out there and beat Jalen Hurts. Earlier on in this season, you saw them trying to force a square peg in a round hole. You saw them trying to turn Jalen Hurts into this pure pocket passer, making him throw the ball 30 plus times, 40 plus times a game, when that's not really his style of football at all. We went back to the drawing board. And it's funny because you think about the way this team made such a drastic transition. You almost don't recognize them. Think about where they were. The way this team turned it around, you would have thought they would have had a bye week. That's the thing. You would have thought this team came off a bye week the way they turned things around. Marquette Spike says, bro, I think that Jalen Hurts still has a lot to improve on the pass game with his mechanics, but with his legs, other than Jackson, there's no quarterback better than Hurts. I knew it would take time. I can respect that, but like you said, he's trending in the right direction. He's in good company right now. He's the only Eagles quarterback in history, in NFL history. He's the only Eagles quarterback to ever run for 3 touchdowns in a game. He's breaking records for the Philadelphia Eagles. He stamped his name in the Philadelphia Eagles history books already in his young career. He's already, in my opinion, I think he's going to be more of a hybrid Russell Wilson / Lamar Jackson type. I think the more he develops as a passer, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit for this guy. Truly. I firmly believe that. And if some of you guys don't think that he's the guy right now, or if you guys still aren't really sold on him, what do you guys think he specifically needs to improve on? Do you guys need to see him in various situations? Do you guys need to see him beat a certain caliber team? Like, does he need a signature win? Or do you need to see him in more situational football? Do you need to see him play from behind? Because as of right now, this team isn't necessarily built to come back from being down double digits, because our game is predicated off the run. It's important for us to dictate the pace in every given Sunday, at every moment of the game. It's important for us to dictate the time of possession and dictate things through the running game, because Jalen Hurts right now, he's still developing as a passer, and I'm not sure yet if he can win us a game strictly with his arm. I know he still has a lot of growing to do, but I believe that as of right now, you can't find another quarterback in this draft. You can't. You can't find a quarterback in this draft that's going to give you what Jalen Hurts can give you, the production. Think about this also. It's not like this offense is playing, low scoring football. It's not like Jalen Hurts is only able to get this team to about 20 points, 21 points a game. And it's not like we're barely squeaking by opponents. We are dominating the opposition. We are putting points on the board. Multiple times in a row, we've put up over 30 points. This past Sunday, we put up 40 points. In week 10 against the Broncos, no, I'm sorry. This past Sunday, we put up 40 points. Right. In week 10 against the Broncos, we put up 30 points. Against the Chargers, we lost, but we put up 24 points. The defense really couldn't stop anything. But against the Detroit Lions, we put up 44 points. Since we started running the ball, let me make sure I'm correct. Make sure I'm correct. In the past 4 weeks, we're averaging 34 points a game. We're averaging almost 35 points a game in the past 4 weeks. Let that sink in, you guys. From week 8 to week 11, we beat the Detroit Lions. We lost to the Chargers barely. We played good enough to beat them. We beat the Broncos and we beat the Saints. In that 4-game stretch, we're averaging over 30 points a game. That's the most beautiful thing about this offense, right? We're running the ball, but we're able to put points on the board. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. We're able to put points on the board. And then on top of that, right now, because of the way we've been running the ball these past handful of weeks, I think we're ranked second in the NFL when it comes to rushing. Let me double check that as well. I just want to make sure I'm giving y'all the facts, because at the end of the day, I don't think any team can stop this running game right now. I honestly don't think so. Like it'll be hell and high water before teams stop us from running the ball. I firmly believe that one. Right now, we're ranked second in the NFL when it comes to running the rock. We're averaging over 150 yards rushing a game. Come on now, that's unheard of for Eagles team. We haven't been this good at running the ball since the Super Bowl season. Where was I? So yeah, JJ says, and that's what I love about Jalen Hurts. He's always fighting, no matter what no matter what the score says. You want a QB with no quit in him. That's Jalen Hurts. I agree with you 100%, man. You can see it in his eyes. He never wavers. He's never under duress. His facial expression, his emotion, his demeanor is the same every time. And think about this, you guys. Teams take on the identity of their quarterback. When your quarterback is emotional and erratic, your team becomes emotional and erratic. Think about the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield. He refused to show up to the press conference, the post-game press conference, right? And that mentality of not taking accountability, it will permeate through the team. Teams take on the identity of not only their head coach, they take on the identity of their starting quarterback. If the starting quarterback is calm, cool, collected, the team will be calm, cool, collected. If the quarterback believes they can win through any situation, the team will believe that they can win through any situation. Richie Mack says, "You're rolling late. What's the agenda tonight, man?" Hey, listen, man, we got some things to talk about, man. Just stay tuned. Dog Goat Michi says, how many passing TDs has Jalen had taken back? Man, I think he's had about 6 or 7 touchdowns called back, something like that. Don't quote me on that though. Howard RB1 says, without Howard, we're going to look like a completely different team. Just look at the first 7 games without Howard. These last 4 games with Howard, we have been punishing defenses. Now, this is an interesting conversation Howard RB1 brought up. Now, let me respond to this. I understand your concern, Howard. I really do. But here's the thing about those first 7 weeks as well. We weren't running the ball to begin with. That was the problem, really. We weren't running the ball. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Howard didn't add a flavor to our running game, because he did. I think Jordan Howard is the pulse of the running game, and I feel like everybody else compliments him. But I feel like we're going to be fine with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, because Boston Scott is the giant killer. Let's not forget that. And Boston Scott runs with some power as well. But think about those first 7 weeks. We weren't running the ball at all. So, it's kind of hard to definitively say we're not going to be able to run the ball, with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell. Miles Sanders' first game back, he had over 90 yards on about, 13, 14 touches, average about 6 yards a carry. Now, he did fumble the ball, almost fumbled the ball twice, but got away with it. He has to lock that up. He has to tighten up in that respect. I'll give you that, Howard. But I believe that we're going to be just fine against the New York Giants because the New York Giants fucking suck. They are so terrible. They are so bad. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They can't get any pressure on the quarterback unless his name is Darius Leonard, and he can't do it all by himself. You don't know who their linebackers are. They can't stop a nosebleed. They are dysfunctional. They fired their OC and now they got Freddie Kitchens trying to call plays. Joe Judge looks like he's unraveling before our very eyes. There's just so much wrong with the New York Giants. I feel like we need to go in there and just punish them and just punch them in their damn mouth. But I understand your point, Howard. Losing Jordan Howard for a week, and thank God it wasn't as serious as it could have been because landing on his neck the way it did could have been really bad. But they say it's a knee issue. I think he'll be just fine. But Howard does add an element to our run game that can be replicated. So we are going to miss him, but I think we're going to be just fine given the fact that we weren't even running the ball the first 7 weeks. Now we're running the ball, and we got that Jalen Hurts effect. They have to pay attention no matter what. Miles Sanders is not a slouch. Boston Scott is the giant killer. He runs with aggression. He not only runs with elusiveness, but he runs with power as well. He's short, stout, and he's a bully when it comes to the Giants. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Eagles Uncensored says, bro, Hurts is the real deal, and it's time people realize that. I agree with you, my guy. Make sure you guys also go subscribe to Eagles Uncensored podcast. He gives you guys dope content as well, also known as AK Eagle. Richie Mack says Carson Wentz 11 for 20, 206 yards, 1 TD. If those stats came from Hurts haters be saying draft a QB or sign a veteran in the offseason. Here's the thing about the Carson Wentz situation. I'm going to put this comment up. Ever since that game against the Tennessee Titans, where Carson Wentz had played maybe the worst 8 minutes of football in his career, where he turned the ball over in the fourth quarter in the end zone and led to I believe it was a pick six, and then turned the ball over in overtime. Ever since then, Frank Reich has made it a point to run the ball significantly more. And he's blessed that he has a star running back in Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is a freak. I have him in fantasy, and that man gave me 50 points, and he saved my behind. I'll tell you that right now. But he also saved Carson Wentz's ass as well. Let's be frank about that. Carson Wentz did not look good in that Tennessee Titans game, and ever since then, Frank Reich has made it a point to not have the ball in Carson Wentz's hands all the time. And here's the thing: he's in the process of trying to undo bad habits from Carson Wentz. Right now, there is this thought that you have, in order to be a successful quarterback, you got to throw 300 plus yards and so on and so forth, right? But when you have a running game, use it. There's no need for you to work harder when you got a running game that can get you that can average 6 yards a carry. When you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor doing his thing, there's no reason for your quarterback to have to throw the ball that many times if you got a running game that can just pound the rock for you. And that's playing smart, complementary football. Think about some of the best teams right now. They have a legit running game. Think about some of the hottest teams right now. They have a running game that's dominating the pace, and that's a fact. But Carson Wentz, I feel like he's been doing exactly what he needs to do to win. He's been making the necessary passes. Howard says we aren't a passing team. We don't have a QB that passes. We are a running team. We have a running QB. He's breaking rushing records, not passing records. I understand, but I would much rather call him a dual threat quarterback. I don't want to just call him a running quarterback. I feel like he's more talented than that, and I feel like his upside is far beyond that. But right now, you're right. We are a running team, and we are predicated off the run. And right now, I don't see a team stopping our running game. We pounded the number one rushing defense into submission. We pounded the rock on their ass. We made them look like a shell of themselves. They can't run with us. I'm trying to think of a team right now that has a running defense like the New Orleans Saints that we're going to have to run up against. Not the New York Giants, not the New York Jets, not the Washington football team, not even the Dallas Cowboys. They have a problem stopping the run. Richie MC says Brandon Brooks probably coming back week 14 after the bye week 13. I think that would make the most sense. Think about this offensive line as it's presently constructed, right? You think about having Jordan Mailata, who's a problem, Lander Dickerson, who's a problem, Jason Kelsey, who is playing like a Hall of Famer. Then you got Jack Driscoll, who's filled in for Brandon Brooks, who's been playing out of his mind above his pay grade. Then you got Lane Johnson on the right side. This offensive line has been literally pushing the pace on these defensive lines. Defensive lines are afraid of our guys. We outmatch guys. We out hustle guys. We out muscle guys. They not fucking with us. Let's keep it all the way true. These other teams is not. No team want to face us right now. Let's be real. No team want to face us. No team want to come up against this running attack. This is smash mouth football. This is the kind of football that Philadelphia is what was bred on. This is the kind of football that Philadelphia thrives on. This is in our blood. This is in our veins. This is a blue collar city, and this is how we do it. It's time to put the guns out. You know what I'm saying? Hand down, man down. We're not playing with guys. We're not playing. Howard says the first 7 games we passed heavy and we sucked. Then the past 4 games we are run heavy and we dominated because of Howard and the O-line. I understand what you're saying, Howard, but Jalen Hurts has something to do with that. And the fact that we're running the ball more, period, is not just Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is a large factor, yes. It's not just Jordan Howard, though. The fact that we're running the ball in general is why we're doing so well. Eagles Uncensored says Hurts is in his own category. I agree with you, man. Phil Geisler, what's going on, my man? Appreciate you for being here. JJ says, that's what I think Jalen Hurts' ceiling is slightly less armed than Russell Wilson and slightly less lazy than Lamar Jackson. But when you combine those two things, you got one hell of a quarterback. Man, you guys are talking good, man. You guys are talking very well. Howard says, all those games you're talking about, what was the key difference? Jordan Howard. Actually, you can't forget Boston Scott. Boston Scott was putting up the same amount of numbers as Jordan Howard. Howard, I understand you're a Jordan Howard fan, and you need to recognize that I'm not talking down on Jordan Howard. You need to recognize the fact that it's a culmination of several factors, not just Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is not the running game alone. You have to take into consideration that these linebackers are forced to pay attention to what Jalen Hurts is going to do with the ball, which then makes it easier for the offensive linemen to create gaps. It leaves so much space for guys like Jordan Howard and Boston Scott to run through. Boston Scott was putting in just as much work as Jordan Howard when Miles Sanders wasn't there. So we got to give Boston Scott the credit he deserves as well for also being a large contributor to this running game, until Miles Sanders came back. Jordan Howard put in work too, but Boston Scott, he was grinding as well. Though that 1-2 combo was definitely giving us, giving teams fits. But Jordan Howard, he is a large factor. Howard RB1, don't worry. He going to get his credit. Relax. It's okay. I got you. Eagles and Suns says we are second in NFL in scoring at 34.5 points per game. Okay. How can you lose when Jordan Howard is carrying 6 yards to carry? I agree with you, my man. I agree with you. Phil Geisler says running the ball has been the key to our success over the past couple weeks. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Howard RB1 will not let this go with Jordan Howard, man. Yo, this guy needs to relax. Yo, what's up with him? you don't see what's going on here, bro? I'm an Eagles fan, bro. This is a culmination of everything. Like, wow, yo, hey y'all, what's up with Howard RB1, man? Why he acting like I ain't giving Jordan Howard his credit? Come on, man. Somebody get this man a lollipop. He need to relax. Richie Mack says, what running backs are on the PS? Would you consider bringing one up on the practice squad? What running backs are on the practice squad? Would you consider bringing up or ride with just 3 Scott Sanders again? Yeah, I'm not bringing nobody up. I'm sticking with the guys I got. Eagles Essential says Hurts leads the NFL in explosive plays at 78. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Richie Mack says, how many targets J-Jaw getting? Man, I don't know, but J-Jaw had one of the biggest plays. I'll give Arcega Whiteside the credit he deserved for that. He had one of the biggest plays. He had one of the biggest plays, man, of the game, setting up that Jalen Hurts touchdown. Eagles Uncensored says, Hurts is also number one in the NFL at QBR. Yeah, these past, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, he's been number one in the NFL at QBR. You're absolutely right, man. Richie Mack says Eagles might not see Joe Flacco be the QB for the Jets on the COVID list. Wow, that's crazy. Brad Wright says Eagles are in rebuild but winning, plus have money and 3 first-round picks. Exactly. And that brings me, man, I'm so glad you brought that up, Richie. You're going to bring me to my next point. I'm glad you brought that up, man. Richie says Flacco made the decision to be unvaccinated. He would be out at least 10 days. Damn. JJ says, yeah, Jonathan Taylor is looking like the best running back in the NFL right now. He is. I mean, if we all know if King Henry was still running the ball, he'll be the best running back. But since King Henry is hurt, he's in the side right now. But right now, Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL. King Henry, he hurt, so he's not being talked about. Right now, Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL. Tell me somebody that's harder than him right now. You can't. Bird Gang 31, what's up, my brother? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you for coming in on the live stream. Always showing love. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my man Bird Gang 31. He just hit 1,700 subscribers. That man is grinding, putting the axe to the iron, man. Brad Wright says Cowboys fans was talking that we think we good because of run game, but they was complaining about not running against KC. They know what's up with us. Yeah, you're right, bro. Listen, the Cowboys they gonna be in for a rude awakening, man. I'm telling you, the Cowboys gonna be in for a rude awakening. This ain't the same Eagles team that they played in week 3 or week 4, whatever it was. It's not the same team. Not the same team. Rashawn Sanders, he says, yo, Tone, been calling for Boston. North and South. Eagle has landed, says, Mailata playing like a Pro Bowler tackle. Dickerson playing like a Pro Bowl guard. That left side is a wall with the potential to be devastating for a long time. All world. Absolutely. Let's put this up, man. This offensive line has literally been playing out of their minds. Jason Kelsey was it Cam Jordan? He put somebody on a T-shirt, and then he ran right through him, picked up another block, set up the Miles Sanders 20-plus yard game. Come on, man. Howard RB1 is Jordan Howard. Yo, he gotta be. He gotta be, man. He gotta have a Jordan Howard shrine in his crib. I don't know why he acting like I ain't giving Jordan Howard his credit, man. Cam Holmes, what's going on, my man? Marquette Spikes, my brother, he says, and what I also love about him is the fact that he's a student of the game. He talks to other quarterbacks of this era and quarterbacks that retired. This man is getting advice from one of the GOATs. You're right, man. Peyton Manning showing him a lot of love. He getting a lot of knowledge from Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. A lot of knowledge, you guys. Karen Holmes says, Tone, we should trade back to get a 2023 first round pick. Keep recycling them. He also says the second. He also says Amari and CD out against the Raiders. Oh man. If the Cowboys can very well lose to the Raiders. Very well. Brad Wright says the thing is the Eagles online having fun, mauling motherfuckers down. Nobody's stopping that. Marquette Spike says we are second, bro. I'm telling you, there's a chance we could take this division over. If the Cowboys continue to fall, which I expect them to do, we can very well take this division over. But let's transition to my next topic, you guys. We've already discussed the fact that we believe that Jalen Hurts is the now and potentially the future of this football team. We all believe that right now. Yes, we acknowledge that he has some growing to do when it comes to ball placement and, deep balls and so on and so forth, and being a volume passer, yes. But his talent where his skill set lies is being a dual threat quarterback, and he's able to do so many different things, not only in the running game, but it opens things up in the passing game as well for the play action, the RPO. He's just a big play waiting to happen. But let's transition to my next topic, and you guys are gonna be very, very peeved, but you guys are also going to be very interested in this topic. I want to ask you guys a question, and hear me out on this. Okay, don't bite my head off, you guys. I need you guys to hear me out on this. Has Howie Roseman done a good job? I'm asking you guys this. Has Howie Roseman done a good job, all things considered? I want you guys to really think about this. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump out the window to put your instant response. Really think about these past few years drafting, what he's done in the off season, how he's positioned us for the now and for the future. How do you guys feel about Howie Roseman right now? Do you guys believe Howie Roseman has done a pretty good job? Let me lay the framework down for you guys. Let's go back to the 2018 draft class, right? He drafted Dallas Goedert in the second round. He got an extension. He drafted Josh Sweat in the fourth round. He got an extension. He drafted Avonte Maddox in the fourth round. He got an extension. Drafted Pryor, Matt Pryor. He traded him to the Colts, got a pick back for him, and apparently he's doing good things for the Colts. And then Jordan Mailata in the seventh round, our superstar left tackle. He got an extension. So far, out of those 5 draft picks in that draft class, 4 of them got extensions and are a part of this core group. And one guy you traded for a pick and is doing good things for the Colts, apparently so. So that's 2018. Now, also, you think about what he did this offseason. Some questionable things, right? Trading away Carson Wentz, firing Doug Peterson. But right now, all things considered, once again, you think about the way Nick Sirianni has been looking. He's shown that he's able to adapt. There's nothing better than having a head coach that's not set in his ways, a guy that's willing to adapt in order to win football games. Nick Sirianni is looking like a hit. Jalen Hurts right now is looking like a hit. We're going to be about $40 to $50 million under the cap going into next year. We got 3 first-round draft picks for next year. You got to think about it. Has Howie Roseman done a good job? Let's be honest with ourselves. Has he done a good job? And this Eagles team can potentially make a playoff push. Shout out to my man Philly Fresh for coming into the live stream, my brother. You already know I'm humbled and I appreciate you, my man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my man Philly Fresh, one of the best, if not the best, doing this Eagles content game, man, for sure. Eagle has landed, says yes, he has. Okay. Bird Gang 31 says Howie gets a B-. Okay, all right. Cam Holmes says Saquon Barkley is the most overrated running back in the NFL. Enough with the commercials. Richie MC says, can we all watch this and compare Jalen's run to McNabb's run? Oh, he put a link up there, you guys. JJ says, everyone in the 2018 draft has got their bread except Teron Jackson. That was an amazing year. Well, Teron Jackson was actually drafted this past year. He was drafted in this draft class. So Teron Jackson was actually drafted in the 2021 draft. Teron Jackson is a rookie. The people who were drafted in 2018 was Dallas Goedert in the second round, Avonte Maddox in the fourth, Josh Sweat in the fourth, Matt Pryor in the sixth, and Jordan Mailata in the seventh round. Out of those 5 guys, 4 guys got contract extensions. And you can make an argument that those 4 guys deserve it. Dallas Goedert, he got paid for not only his talent now, but also what we project him to do. And so far, it's looking like a great investment. He had a really good game against the New Orleans Saints. Avonte Maddox having a great year right now. His name is not being called by announcers, meaning that he's doing a good job covering his guys. I like the way that they're using him in the slot. He's definitely shown that he's definitely one of the top slot corners in this NFL. Josh Sweat, always wreaking havoc. Now, I know he's not putting up gaudy numbers when it comes to sacks. I get that. But sacks don't tell the full story. Pressures, quarterback pressures is one of the leading things that really show how good a guy is on the edge. And Josh Sweat is really demanding a lot of attention on that edge. We traded away Matt Pryor for a pick. And then we got Jordan Mailata. We know what Jordan Mailata's been doing. Let's not even call that into question. Jordan Mailata has been punishing guys, putting guys in the dirt. All right. Where was I? Marquette Spike says, nah, I don't think it would be a problem. I love Gainwell, Sanders, and Scott. Plus, we still have Hurts. You have to understand Hurts makes it that much easier because teams are so afraid of him beating him. You're absolutely right. Let me put this up real quick. This is such a key point. We need to understand that Jalen Hurts creates so much confusion for opposing defenses because they don't know what he's going to do with the ball. And the fact that he's improving as a passer makes him that much more dangerous. And then you got a guy like Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott back there, Jordan Howard when healthy. Come on, man. That is a recipe for success. Jalen Hurts is the X factor. I promise you that. If you had a quarterback that couldn't move a muscle, if you had a quarterback back there that couldn't jump over a piece of paper, trust and believe this running game will not be as potent. Brad Wright says this topic on point because you have to give him credit for the point of view. We are looking at as of this time. You're absolutely right. As of right now, we're poised to make a playoff push. We're going to have 3 first-round picks in this coming draft. We on top of that, he drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. He's on a rookie deal. He has 2 years left on the contract, and for the contract, I think we're only going to owe him about $3 to $4 million, and that's total on the contract. We're only going to be paying this young man about $3 to $4 million over the next 2 years. That's a steal. Really think about it from top to bottom. Howie Roseman is doing a pretty good job thus far. Things are starting to trend in the right direction. But you also got to give credit to Nick Sirianni for having the mindset to alter the way his team plays football. He looked at his team's strengths and he says, you know what? We got some bullies on the O-line. Let me start using these guys. We got a guy like Jordan Howard back. Let's bring this guy up. It's almost as if Miles Sanders getting hurt was a blessing in disguise because if he hadn't got hurt, we probably would have never knew how potent this running attack could be with Jordan Howard. I think Jordan Howard should be extended next season. I think we need to give Jordan Howard maybe a 1 or 2 year deal extension. You know what I'm saying? I think Jordan Howard, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm a fan of power backs more than anything. I like power backs more than scat backs, elusive backs, one cut backs, receiving backs. I like power backs more than anything. Jordan Howard, let's make one thing clear, you guys. Jordan Howard is only 26, 27 years old. Jordan Howard is, let me make sure I'm not tripping. Jordan Howard is 27 years old. That's it. He's only 27 years old. And Miles Sanders is how old? 24. My thing is, I would extend Jordan Howard. I would give him a 2 to 3 year extension. You know what I'm saying? I'll also extend Miles Sanders. I love Boston Scott, but he may be the odd man out from a contract perspective. They still got Kenny Gainwell on a rookie deal. Think about this pass draft Howie Roseman did. Think about the pass draft. He drafted Devontae Smith in the first round, Landry Dickerson, Milton Williams, Zach McPherson, Kenny Gainwell, Marlon Tuipulotu, Teron Jackson, Jacoby Stevens, and Patrick Johnson. Right now, out of those picks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of those 9 picks, you can make an argument that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them were hits. You can make an argument that 4 out of those 9 draft picks were hits. Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenny Gainwell. Everybody else, it's still a to be determined. I like Teron Jackson. I like his upside. I think Zach McPherson still has a lot of growing to do. But Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, and Kenny Gainwell, that's 4 out of your 9 picks so far are already making impacts on your team. That's a what is that? What's that? What is that? 4 divided by 9 is what? What percentage is that? 44% of your draft picks are hitting. That's a slam dunk because drafting guys is not an easy job to do. It's not. They say, from what I hear and what I was able to gather, they say if you can hit on about 30%, 25% of your draft picks, you're doing a hell of a job. Howie Roseman this past draft, in my opinion, hit on 44% of his draft picks, 4 out of the 9 draft picks. Howie Roseman is doing a good job, and I hate to say it. I'm not a Howie Roseman fan at all, but he has positioned his team to do some pretty good things, not only now, but in the future. We got to call it like it is, you guys. We have to. We have to. Doggo Michi says, yep, he did a great job. Okay. Cameron Holmes says, Giants fans talked about Smith's durability, but Saquon and Galladay are made of cardboard. Bro, tell me about it. JJ says, Matt Pryor, met him, my bad. Yeah, good year. Okay, I got you. JJ says, Avonte Maddox might be the best slot cornerback in the NFL. He's so underrated. JJ also says, besides the O-line, I actually think Jalen Hurts is the most important player for the run game. He is. He's the X factor. Jalen Hurts allows this create so much space because the pass rush has to be mindful. They can't really rush Jalen Hurts with reckless abandon. They have to be careful of the fact that he can give the ball to the running back. He can take off on himself, the play action. They have so many things to worry about. Cam says, I can't wait for next Sunday. Giants fans got to relearn their role every year. Oh, man. Richie says, Jalen Hurts make the offensive line look better with his escapability. I will agree with that when it comes to pass protection. When it comes to pass protection, he definitely masks certain deficiencies. Landon Dickerson definitely has to improve as a pass protector. Jack Driscoll also has to improve as a pass protector as well. Those two are the guard positions. So I do think Jalen Hurts does cover a lot of deficiencies that the O-line may have when it comes to pass protection. But when it comes to run blocking, these guys, oh my God, these guys are playing bully football. These guys are the new Broad Street Bullies. Shout out to the Philadelphia Flyers. Bergang says the duel of Hurts and Smith can be just as dangerous as Sanders and Hurts. Bruh, you talking that talk, Bergang. You're right. Cam Holmes says Darius Slay has more yards and TDs than Jalen Reagor. Bro, that's sad, right? That's very sad. And we're going to get into that as well. That's extremely sad. Jay Butler, what's going on, family? How you doing? Richie says, you need to create an emoji of yourself. I have no idea how to do that, my man. Is there an app for that? There's an app for every damn thing else. Howard is 27 with 24-year-old legs from the time he missed. Brad Wright said that. That's a very good point. Jordan Howard, these past couple years, he has not been run like a franchise running back. So he actually doesn't have the miles on his body as your standard bell cow running back would. Same thing with Miles Sanders. Doesn't really have the miles on his body as a standard running back would. So that's a very good point. Bird 31 says Howard is a good compliment to Sanders, but no lead back for the future. Hey, listen, man, I like Jordan Howard. I love power running backs. I feel like those guys should split. I feel like those guys should split carries. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those guys should split carries. I'm not completely sold on Miles Sanders, and I'm not, and I believe Jordan Howard makes his job a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Howard is that running back. He doesn't waste time in the backfield. He sees the hole and he takes it. I actually believe Jordan Howard has better vision than Miles Sanders. I actually believe that. Miles Sanders, yes, he's faster, more elusive. Maybe he's a little bit more versatile, but you can't deny what Jordan Howard brings to the table. Jordan Howard brings something to the table that Miles Sanders just doesn't bring. He brings ball security, and he brings that ferociousness behind the line of scrimmage. He punishes guys, and Jordan Howard, he has been one of the catalysts for this running game alongside Jalen Hurts and Boston Scott. Miles Sanders, he has to clean up the fumbles. He has to clean that up. He has to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Brad Wright says, put Gainwell in the slot over Rager. Man, Jalen Rager going to find himself without a job in the next couple years. He lucky he was a first-round pick, and that contract is already locked in. Marquez Spike says, bro, Hurts just had 3 rushing touchdowns. Howard is great, but if anything, we have to look at the offensive line and everyone else on the offense. You're absolutely right. Everyone plays a role in this. That's the amazing part about this, right? Everyone plays a role in this in the success right now. The offensive line, Nick Sirianni's play calling. Let's be honest, Nick Sirianni has been calling a hell of a game with his sequencing, and also taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the opposing team's pass rush and linebackers. Man, he's been calling a hell of a game and putting his quarterback in a great position. But Jalen Hurts has been doing amazing things. The offensive line has been doing amazing things. Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott has been doing amazing things. These guys, it's a team effort. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert have been doing amazing things. Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith are our lead receivers. They're not asking Jalen Hurts to really spread the ball around. They're asking Jalen Hurts to hit your best guys in the pass game. Hit Devontae Smith or hit Dallas Goedert, or if somebody else open, throw it their way. Cam says Tom Brady has more rushing yards last night than Rager has receiving yards in the last 4 weeks. That's embarrassing. That's god awful. That's god awful, man. Richie says Rager going to make the big play in one of the Giants game. My guess is the second one, and you are all going to say, wow. Listen, I'm waiting for it. Look, I'm an Eagles fan, bro. So I want Jalen Rager to succeed. The better he is, the better the team will be. That's a fact. But so far, he hasn't really lived up to that first round pick, value. Now, granted, I feel like, and this is my thoughts, and it's no slight against Jalen Rager because he can't help that he was drafted in the first round. If Jalen Rager was drafted in the second round or the third round, trust us, you guys, we would not be on him like this. But because he was drafted ahead of Justin Jefferson, we had to hold him to that standard. Brad Wright says Jack Stoll. Let me put this up. Jack Stoll, nice too. I think he was undrafted though. That's a very good point. Jack Stoll, the tight end that we picked up, I think out of Nebraska. Jack Stoll has been an amazing addition to this tight end room. He's been showing that his run blocking ability is amazing. His pass blocking ability is amazing as well. He is your prototypical blocking tight end, and he has pretty good hands. He's shown that he can come in and especially in those run heavy packages. So I like Jack Stoll. I like Jack Stoll a lot, actually. Cam Holmes says, I'm not going to say anything good about Howie until I see these next 3 first-round picks. I respect that, but as of right now, has Howie Roseman done a good job? From today and back, has Howie Roseman done a good job? We got to acknowledge it. He has put us in position to really make some noise. We got it's. I know it hurts. No pun intended. I know it hurts. But it hurts so good when your team is finally winning some football games. They have an identity. And I'll be honest with you guys, regardless of how this season ends, you can actually say without a shadow of a doubt, this team is moving in the right direction. Even if we don't make the playoffs, because there are other teams who are competing for those 6 and 7 seed as well. But you have to acknowledge the fact that we are poised to make a playoff push also, but we are poised to do very well in our future. Jalen Hurts being on a rookie contract, that 2018 draft class being pretty much a bona fide hit. This past draft class in 2021 being pretty much a hit as well. On top of that, having the 3 first-round picks, putting us in a position to be damn near 50% under the cap. You know what I'm saying? Like that rookie deal, Jalen Hurts is on. We got to acknowledge that, man. Like that's he did that. He did that, and I know it hurts to say that, but he did it, and we got to give that man credit where credit is due. I'm sorry, man. Brad Wright says Patrick Johnson not getting the burn, but seems to play well when in. I feel you on that. I feel like Teron Jackson is making a little bit more of a splash than him. But I feel what you're saying though. Cam Holmes says, I don't know if Avonte Maddox is the best slot corner. Kenny Moore is a bad dude. Good point. Hey, Avonte Maddox is trending in the right direction. I feel like Avonte Maddox is only going to get better. And we resigned TJ Edwards. I almost forgot about TJ Edwards, y'all. TJ Edwards was undrafted out of Wisconsin, and TJ Edwards is looking like come on, man. They gave him a 1-year extension. I don't know if I want TJ Edwards being my lead linebacker, but I like TJ Edwards being a complimentary linebacker next to an impact linebacker, next to a linebacker that's going to demand a constant presence. But so far, so good. This defense is galvanizing around TJ Edwards. Darius Slay, those guys, man. So far on the season, the defensive stars have been Darius Slay, TJ Edwards, Javon Hargrave, who's been kind of quiet these past couple weeks, but Javon Hargrave, Avonte Maddox, you know what I'm saying? Like, who else, man? Like, it's just Davion Taylor. We have to. TJ Edwards has been playing out of his mind, man, and it seemed like he's getting better and better every week. Jonathan Gannon has finally found his recipe. Marquez Spike says he's definitely the best running back right now. He's holding it down for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, you're talking about. Doggo Michi says, what if Howie never drafted Jalen? We'll be having a totally different conversation, man. Vic 3 says the 2019 draft was trash. Miles Sanders was the only decent pick. That was all Howie. So the 2019 draft class, yeah, that wasn't really the best thing. I feel like Andre Dillard right now, he's still Andre Dillard. That's an interesting situation. I want to reserve judgment for Andre Dillard because the way he came into the NFL and he never really had a smooth path of development. But Miles Sanders thus far is obviously the best pick out of that draft. JJ Thugger-Whiteside, the moment you say something bad about JJ, he does something that makes you say, "Oh, let's give him another chance." So but yeah, Sharif Miller obviously not on his team anymore. I don't even know if he's even in the NFL anymore. And then Clayton Thorson. Come on, let's never discuss that guy. But so far, Miles Sanders, yes, he's obviously the only home run pick out of 2019. 2020, you got Jalen Hurts, Davion Taylor, Jack Driscoll, Sean Bradley, Quez Watkins. That's a pretty good turnout from that draft class. We drafted how many guys in this draft class? We drafted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We drafted 10 guys in 2020. And so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, maybe 6, if you want to count Kavon Wallace, are giving us an immediate return. I feel like Kavon Wallace still needs to show me more. But 5 out of the 10 draft picks from 2020 are panning out. Jack Driscoll looks great. Davion Taylor looks great. Hurts looks great. Sean Bradley looks good. Quez Watkins looks good whenever he touches the rock. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give Howie Roseman credit for 2020 as well. And then 2021, we already know what that is. So is Howie Roseman doing a good job right now? As much as it pains me to say, yes, he is. He is. William Garbreath says, yes, Hurts is our QB going forward. He's showing improvement each game and hasn't even scratched the surface. It's scary. You're right, man. I like the way you talk, man. Vic 3 says, no one thinks it's a coincidence that Howie's doing a good job as a GM the same year his contract's up. Hey, listen, man. Money talk, BS walk. Doggo Michi. He says, what if Howie never drafted Jalen? Oh, yeah, that'd be a crazy situation, bro. I think I already answered that. Marcus Spike says the Eagles' future is very bright as long as we keep on building around Hurts and build up this defense. And I think Howie has done great this year. JJ says, I had high hopes for Jalen Rager, but he's not it, bro. Man, Rager is not looking. Listen, I think JJ Ficker-White JJ Ficker-Whiteside, he had a better game on Sunday than Jalen Rager. Every time the ball went to Jalen Rager, it was a negative play. Can't believe it, man. Richie says, need to see that all 22 on Rager. Maybe breaking down the birds will analyze him. Somebody need to analyze him because it ain't panning out right now. JJ says, I'm one of the biggest Howie Roseman haters, but I got to give the man props. He's made some good moves lately. You're right, man. He traded Joe Flacco for a compensatory pick. Like, he flipped Joe Flacco for a draft pick. Like, come on, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, he finding ways. Cam says, he said JJ was better than DK Metcalf, Tone. I'm sorry, I can't. Listen, y'all, we got to get over the DK Metcalf stuff. I understand it's frustrating, but right now he's looking like a liability for his team. He can't keep his screws tight. But look, I understand that he passed on DK Metcalf, but a lot of teams passed on DK Metcalf, so we got to give him a break in that respect. I get it. Now, Justin Jefferson, there's no excuse for that one. I will never let him live that one down. You passed on Justin Jefferson and drafted a punt returner. Come on. William Garba says, I give Howie his props. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but I think Howie has done a nice job overall. Richie Mack says, create your own emoji using Bitmoji. Oh, shit. I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Oh, yeah. I do got one of those on Snapchat. I do. Ishmael Rodriguez says they have to give Rager and Watkins will make the list. JJ says CJ Edwards was balling against New Orleans. Best game of his career. Easily, by far. Can't forget Nelson. Can't forget Steven Nelson. Now, he had some games that was, shaky, but he, for the better part, he's been pretty good. Vic 3 says Dillard is a bust. Hey, man, looks that way, doesn't it? Richie says DK Metcalf is a great athlete, but what is going on with him in Seattle this year? Making too many boneheaded plays. I agree with you. Dog Goat Michi says, Nelson is okay, not great. I agree. I feel like Nelson has had a B- season, Vic 3 says, yeah, Nelson is playing well. He's playing all right. Wallace gave no return. Well, Kavon Wallace did block that field goal. So, when used in certain situations, Kavon Wallace has given us a return on something, right? But overall, he could be better. Also, you guys, we got 17 people in the live stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the content. If you guys have been loyal to the channel already, loyal to the soil from the very beginning, you already know where my heart is. You know how we get down. Make sure you guys smash that motherfucking like button. It helps the content grow. You guys are truly a part of this tribe of mine. You guys are a part of the Chalk It Up class, and I really appreciate you guys, man. Hey, look, we need to come up with the name for our clan. We need to come up with the name for for you guys, man. What should we call you guys, man? Like, we need to come up with something. Obviously the channel is called Chalk It Up, but what should we call you guys, man? Because you guys are supporting me without a shadow of a doubt. And you guys are some of the smartest football fans I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. You guys know your stuff. You guys hold me accountable. You guys challenge my thought process. You guys bring up points that I've never even thought about. So yeah, man, it's really amazing talking to you guys. You guys got to give the tribe a name, man. You guys got to give the group some sort of like moniker. What should we call you guys, man? You guys are legit. You guys are legit, man. JJ says, going back to 2020, remember how we kept trading back and created 3 picks out of thin air. 2 of those picks were Sean Bradley and Quez Watkins. Great job by Howie. That's a good point, man. Brad Wright says, you stream dope, dog. Your stream is dope, dog. Like we on the couch with beers talking. Oh, yeah? Hey, man, I appreciate that, bro. My goal, honestly, is to act like I'm in the room with y'all, really. I feel like my goal is to be in the room with y'all. I want to have this conversation with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I really believe that you guys are some of the smartest football fans out here. I really believe Philadelphia Eagles fans know their football better than all these other fan bases because we hold our team accountable. We love our team so much that we dive so deep into the numbers. We dive so deep into the analytics. We dive so deep into the eye test, the all 22s. We study the game better than any fan base out there in football. Tell me something different. No fan base can compete with us when it comes to knowing our team. I firmly believe that, and you guys are really the catalyst behind it. You guys are the coal in the engine. Vic 3 says, no one you named was a starter. Which guys? I named a lot of guys. Man. But yeah, the bottom line is these guys are being contributors. That's the thing. I'll put it to you guys like this. On Sunday, right? This past Sunday, all the starting 11, all those guys were drafted. All of them. Now, all of them weren't drafted by Howie Roseman, but out of the starting 11, they all were drafted. And and it shows we're developing guys. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we're developing guys, and that's an important thing to bring up. The entire starting 11 was drafted this past Sunday. Really think about that. Well, Vic 3, Davion Taylor has started. Davion Taylor been starting. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him respect. Davion Taylor's been starting, man. Jack Driscoll is starting. What are you talking about, Vic? Come on, man. Come on. I know he's filling in for Brandon Brooks, but Jack Driscoll, he playing like he could be a starter anywhere right now. Let's keep it real. The GOAT Michi says Marcus Epps is underrated low-key. Marcus Epps has made some pretty interesting plays. Richie Mack says Sharif Miller 6'4" from Penn State University. What could have been? But I guess he did not have love for the game. Yeah, man. So it's either you got it or you don't. Brad Wright says something about the way Rager runs looks like his hips are dislocated. My problem with Rager is I feel like he doesn't help his quarterback. I feel like Rager is looking for Jalen Hurts to throw him open all the time, whereas though Jalen Rager needs to get open. Jalen Rager needs to come back to the football. I don't think Jalen Rager has the most route discipline, in my opinion. Philly the podcast, my brother was good. Listen, y'all, Philly the podcast is one of the hottest podcasts I heard doing it on YouTube, covering his Eagles content, man. One of the best, if not the best. Give him some love, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his content as well. Him, Castro, and Brandon are doing great things at Philly the podcast, and make sure you go subscribe to those guys. They are legit. Cam Holmes says I would never give him a break for that. Listen, I told you I'm never going to give him a break for Justin Jefferson, but DK Metcalf. So many teams passed on him. You know, what can you say about it, man? What can you say? Vic 3 says you can't get him a pass on one and not the other. That's bad evaluating on Howie's part. Listen, I'm giving him a pass on DK right now because a lot of teams passed on DK. I can understand if it was a first round situation. Like so many teams passed on DK. Like if you're gonna hold Howie Roseman to that same standard, you got to hold all these other GMs to that same standard as well, man. You know that's my logic behind it. But Justin Jefferson, I'm not giving him a pass for that because you literally chose someone right ahead of him. Like he fell on your lap. That was more of a sure thing than DK Metcalf. Like let's stop acting like we knew what DK Metcalf was going to be in his NFL. Like a lot of us are having revisionist history. Okay, hindsight is 2020. Let's stop acting like we knew what DK Metcalf was going to be because we didn't. We didn't. So let's not do that. Vic asked a very good question. Are people overreacting to this win? I'm going to give you my opinion first and foremost. Hell no. You want to know why, Vic? Because we put up over 200 rushing yards. I think about 225 to be exact. Let me double check that because at the end of the day, it was an ass whooping. This team, as a collective, put up 242 rushing yards on the number one rushing defense. Vic, if that's an overreaction, I don't know. Well, what's the underreaction? You feel what I'm saying? I don't think we overreacted at all because we dominated this game from beginning to end. Nick Sirianni outcoached Sean Payton. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Nick Sirianni outcoached Sean Payton on Sunday. This rushing offense dominated the number one rushing defense. Like, the New Orleans Saints rushing defense has been historic. They have arguably been the best rushing defense for the past 3 or 4 years. The past 2 to 3 years, maybe. No one's been able to run the ball on them. And the only time they've really given up the yards is against us. And Jalen Hurts has been at the helm. We gotta give credit where credit is due. We're not overreacting. This is a quality win. You know, I understand Trevor Siemian is the quarterback, but listen, Jalen Hurts doesn't play Trevor Siemian. He plays that defense, and that defense had most of their starters in, if not all of them. The offense was missing most of the guys, but the defense, their defense was all there. Malcolm Jenkins was there. Cam Jordan was there. All that talent was there on that D line. The linebackers, the safeties, they all had. Marshawn Lattimore was playing, and guess what? We put up numbers on the number one run stopping defense, over 240 yards. That's not an overreaction to me at all. The GOAT Michi says, end of the season, we can try to get Allen Robinson or Zach Pascal in free agency to pair with Devontae. Perfect segue. I think it's important that we go get a veteran wide receiver at this point. Now, granted, earlier in the season, I will be honest, I was one of the people that didn't want to go get a veteran wide receiver that early because I wanted to find out how good these young guys can be. We know how good Devontae Smith can be. I feel like Quez Watkins, he's not getting the targets. He needs more opportunities, but he knows how to get open. Jalen Reagor, the jury is still out on him. So I think we do need a veteran to pair with Devontae. That'd be perfect for Jalen Hurts. It'd be perfect for this team. Like you said, Allen Robinson will fit perfectly. I like that. I like that a lot. Eddie Holmes, what's going on, my brother? Vic says, I was a big Wallace fan, but so far his whole career yielded one play. Yeah, man. Philly the podcast, the chalk zone. Oh, I think we found it, y'all. I think we found it, the chalk zone. I like that. I like that. The chalk zone. I like that, Castro. I like that. I don't know if I'm gonna give you royalties for that, but I like that. I like that, Castro. The chalk zone. I like that. You just gave me an idea. The chalk zone. Oh my God. William Godbreath. Let's give Reagor some more time. Sometimes it takes guys a little longer to develop and get adjusted to the pro game. All right, man. I mean, we ain't got no choice but to wait. He was drafted in the first round. He got the first 4 years. I think the fifth season is we could pick up the option or whatever. So we ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice but to wait. Patriot 1776, my guy, what's going on, man? Eddie Holmes, what's up with everyone now giving Jalen his props? Hey, I don't know, man. Everybody's starting to come out the woodworks and starting to give Jalen his love. But guess what? I'll take it. Richie says, Howie found and signed the big three on special teams, Sipos, Elliott, and Lovato. Right? Yo, and he signed us. Yo, our punter is legit. Jake Elliott is having a great season, only missed 2 kicks on the season so far. Jake Elliott is having an amazing season, you guys. We got to get credit if credit is due in that respect also. Let's talk about Jake Elliott numbers. Jake Elliott right now is 18 for 20 on field goals attempted. He's 90%. Jake Elliott is making 90% of his field goals. And he hasn't missed the extra point. Jake Elliott is having a career year. Jake Elliott through 11 games. Jake Elliott is making 90% of his field goals, and he's made 100% of his extra points. Jake Elliott is having a career year. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about it. Gregory James, he says the Eagles fans told Sirianni to run the ball during the Detroit game, and he got the message. That's another thing too. That's what I'm saying. The Eagles fan base, we do numbers. We have the pulse of our organization, of our team. We make so much noise. We know the game so much. The coaching staff is starting to pay attention to what the fan base is saying. You think it's an accident that we started demanding this team run the ball, and all of a sudden we starting to run the ball? If you ask, you shall receive. JJ says Jack Driscoll looking good, but he's filling in for possibly the best guard in football. Big shoes to fill. Of course, no one's saying Jack Driscoll is Brandon Brooks. Brandon Brooks is the complete package. He's a more talented blocker by far. Brandon Brooks arguably is the best right guard in this game. But we got to acknowledge that Jack Driscoll has been doing his job very, very well. But when Brandon Brooks comes back, Jack Driscoll, he gonna take a back seat. But Jack Driscoll is getting valuable reps. Valuable. And then potentially, if we move on from Brandon Brooks, or if he retires, we could plug in Jack Driscoll to be that right guard. See, Jack Driscoll, he could play right tackle, he could play right guard. He's versatile. So we're in a good position with our offensive line, you guys. We got Nate Herbig, who's very talented. We still got Isaac Samalu, who's injured, done for the season, but he's very solid. Got Landon Dickerson, Jack Driscoll. You feel what I'm saying? Jordan Mailata, Andre Dillard. When he's used in spurts, I still want to give Andre Dillard some time, because let's be totally real, you guys. It's really hard to. I'll be honest with you. Most offensive linemen, they don't make an impact very early in their career. Most offensive linemen don't hit their prime until they're about 27. Let's be honest. Offensive linemen are the hardest position to develop. Offensive linemen are the one position that takes the longest to develop. Offensive linemen, a left tackle takes longer to develop than a defensive tackle. A left tackle takes longer to develop than a defensive end. That's a fact. Offensive linemen take longer to develop than defensive linemen. That's a fact. So it's fair to say Andre Dillard hasn't even really peaked. Is it fair to say that, you guys? Talk to me. Is it fair to say that? Offensive linemen, we if anybody that knows football knows, and I'm pretty sure you guys know this, offensive linemen take the longest to develop out of any position in football. JJ says even Seattle actually passed on DK Metcalf at least twice before taking him. See what I'm saying? They passed on him twice. So, we got to get over that. Vic says, what do we say about our defense when they do bad at times? The offense constantly had 3 and outs. The defense didn't have to recoup. That's what happened to New Orleans. The defense didn't have to recruit. That's what happened to New Orleans. Hey, listen, man, look. You know what that's what happens when you go up on a team like that. When you dominating a team like that, sometimes it happens. When you have such a big lead, you take your foot off the gas. It happens. It happens sometimes. When you have a big lead, you take your foot off the gas. You can't help it. You can't help it, you guys. When you're doing good in one of your classes, when you acing all your classes, you can afford to get a C on one paper. You get what I'm saying? When you're doing so good in your classes in school, right? The end of the year come, you be like, all right, I'm gonna take a couple of days off. I'm gonna put my feet up. You know what I'm saying? It happens. When you're doing so well, you're bound to take a play off or two. It happens. It happens, Vic. JJ says Jalen Reagor doesn't even try though. It looks like he half-asses in every play. So annoying. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about something with Jalen Reagor specifically about the half-assing thing. You ever notice that whenever Jalen Reagor is sent over in motion, he never completes it. He always slows down, which basically gives away what the play is. Think about that. Whenever Jalen Reagor is sent over in motion on a swing, when he's sent over in motion and it looks like he's positioning for a swing pass, why does he stop and look at the quarterback? Why isn't he completing the route? Complete the motion. Sell it. Jalen Reagor doesn't sell anything he does. He doesn't sell anything. There's so many times I've seen him going in motion, and then the moment the ball snapped, he slows down and looking at the quarterback. as if he's not even a threat on the field. Pretend to be a threat on the field. Pretend, sell the play, sell the route. Use your eyes and your body language to get open. Like Devontae Smith, sell the route, sell it. Jalen Reagor doesn't sell anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it seems like he half-asses the route. When he knows the ball's not coming his way, he half-asses it. And that's not good. It shows up on the film. Reed 223 says Jordan and Dickerson are monsters on the left side. Big facts, man. Vic says Melado was a stout one pick, not a Roseman pick. Howie Roseman got to make the decision, man. Come on. Let's be real. We all know it's a war room, it's a draft room. They all are putting their minds together, Vic, yes. But Howie Roseman has to send in the pick. Howie Roseman gets the final say. We all know that. Richie Mack says, and the Eagles crowd at MetLife Stadium. Hey, man, y'all know we going to take over. Y'all know we are. The Giants fans know what's up. We're going to take over MetLife. Vic 3 says Milada is a Stoutland pick, not a Howie pick. Bro, you heard what I said, man. It's a brainchild. It's a hive mentality. It's a group effort when it comes to these picks. And then Howie Roseman has to make the final decision. You got to acknowledge that. Stoutland can want what he wants, but if Howie Roseman doesn't make the decision, it means nothing. Howie has to make the decision. That's what we have to respect and understand and accept. He has to make the decision. If you're going to give him credit for the bad picks, you got to give him credit for the good ones. JJ says Andre Dillard looked good with laying out. So. Vic 3 says Dillard is a bust, plain and simple. Come on, Vic. You know football better than that, my man. You know football better than that. Richie says Howie had to approve of Jordan, though. Exactly. JJ says, yeah, Eagles drafted Milata because of Stoutland. Sure, but we all know Howie got to make the decision. Greek Warrior. You're talking about outliers, bro. Every team doesn't have a great offensive line. Every team doesn't have an offensive line 1 through 5 who can start anywhere. Most of these teams in the NFL have a combination of offensive linemen who are great, some who are average, some who may be below average. But offensive linemen, it's a known fact in the NFL that offensive linemen take longer to develop than any other position. Now, sure, maybe Andre Dillard was drafted a little sooner than he should have, but it's hard to totally say Andre Dillard is a bust because because of the sole fact that he's an offensive lineman. That's my theory. That's my point, and I'm sticking to it. And it's also a fact. Offensive linemen take longer to develop than any other position in the NFL. If you know football, you know that. Victory says you can't get a seat in class when you haven't been paying attention most of the quarter. Bro, all right, I'll put you like this. If four quarters of great football equals an A, this team gets a B then because they took the third quarter off. You feel what I'm saying? Like they took the third quarter off. Like my thing is like, why y'all acting like why y'all nitpicking? What's up? What's up? Like I don't understand the energy I'm feeling right now. Like what's up? Y'all nitpicking. We beat this team 40-29. We all know the score. We all know we was dominating that game from beginning to end. We all know this team is still growing and so on. Like this defense was lights out in the first half. And then, they took some plays off. You got to think about it. Davion Taylor got injured. Darius Slay went down with a concussion. You feel what I'm saying? So we lost some key guys on defense. Like, why are we nitpicking? Come on, y'all. Richie says, where's Greg Ward this year? Hey, listen, man, I don't know. Richie says Rager, the jury is still out. Greek Warrior says Rager is a horrible route runner, a bust period, overrated and overdrafted. Overdrafted, yes. I don't think we've ever rated him high though, as a fan base. So I don't know if he's overrated. Route running has to improve without a doubt. Vic 3 says somehow the contract hell Howie has had us under is forgotten so fast. Bro, at the end of the day, what have you done for me lately? And lately, he put us in a good position. This is the NFL, not for long, meaning that you're not going to be bad for long. You're not going to be good for long. So you got to take advantage of the opportunities when you get them. And so far, Howie Roseman is doing a good job, all things considered. The fact that he was able to get us from out of that position speaks to how good he's doing. Not many GMs are capable of doing so. I'm not saying Howie Roseman is the best. I'm not a Howie Roseman fan at all. But we got to acknowledge this. If he got us in hell, he got us in heaven now. We got to acknowledge that. If you're going to give him credit for the bad, you got to give him credit for the good. You can say what you want. If you're an Eagles fan, if you're a fan of this organization, at the end of the day, you got to acknowledge what you see with your own two eyes. And the bottom line is, yes, we were in a bad situation contractually. And he's positioned us to be in good situations contractually. It's okay. Think about how many teams who are in bad cap situations for 5+ seasons, like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to be terrible in the next 2 years, but not us though. Not us. It's important for us to acknowledge that, yes, Howie Roseman did have us in some funny situations when it came to cap because he locked up a lot of money with some free agents. But he got us out of it. Just like that. We got to acknowledge it, you guys. It's okay. It's okay to say he's doing a good job right now. Then when he's fucking up, we'll say he's fucking up. It's okay, you guys. You don't lose sleep if you say he's doing an all right job. It's okay. It's okay we're so used to him doing a bad job at times. You know what? We hate his face. I know. We hate his face. We hate his voice. We hate that Jeffrey Lurie loves him. You know what I'm saying? But look, he's doing a good job thus far. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Jake Johnson says Sanders has to stop fumbling. You're absolutely right, my man. You're absolutely right, man. Greek Warrior says, again, the good ones come out the draft ready to play. Bro, not many guys come on, Greek Warrior. You're being facetious, and I know it. Not most guys don't come out the draft ready to play. Like you're speaking about outliers, bro. You're speaking about the 1%. The 1%. This NFL is comprised of actually more third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounders than any other position or any other round. Those guys didn't necessarily come in ready to play. You know what I'm saying? They started out as contributors in spots, and then they got their feet locked in their position. But at the end of the day, and I think the word you mean is the great ones. The great ones come out the draft ready to play, like Justin Jefferson. And it all depends on your situation as well. There's so many factors, especially when it comes to offensive linemen. There's so many factors that goes into their development. So many. Do you know how easy it is to miss an offensive lineman? It's so easy. They take time to develop. Now, what I will say about Andre Dillard that's a problem is that he's extremely, extremely limited. He can't be cross-trained. He's only a left tackle. That's the one thing I will say about Andre Dillard. He's not cross-trainable. He's a one-trick pony. He's a left tackle and a left tackle only. JJ says Lane wasn't great at first. It took him a little while, but now he's arguably the best right tackle in football. Not saying Dillard can do that too, but it sometimes takes time. Exactly. Jason Kelce wasn't the best center in football his first few years. It took him time to develop into this person. Brandon Brooks wasn't the best right guard when he first came in. He became that after about year 3, you know what I'm saying, like year 2, year. It takes time to develop these guys, man. I don't understand why we acting like offensive linemen just normally come in this league ready to play. Penny Sewell, he's good, but he's had bad games as well. So is he a bust? He's had bad games. Now Slater, he was drafted after Penny Sewell, and he came in more ready to play. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on your situation. You know, your draft stock shouldn't really determine. Unfortunately, the way the NFL is set up, where you were drafted, forces people to believe that's how good you're supposed to be. But sometimes when you're drafted in a certain spot, that's not necessarily who you are. AKA Jalen Rager. Jalen Rager is right now third round, second round at best. At best. What? Okay, Greek Warrior, he baiting me, y'all. Let me ignore this guy. Richie Max is N'Keal Harry, first round by the Pats. Brandon Ayuk, first round by the 49ers. John Ross, first round by the Bengals. Are they better than Rager now? I say no. Well, I would say that Brandon Ayuk is better. I wouldn't put John Ross over him, and I wouldn't put. Well, actually, I wouldn't put him above. No, they all suck really. But Brandon, the only person I would put above Rager is Brandon Ayuk. But N'Keal Harry, like, you know what I'm saying? Pats drafted him in the first round. Like, you miss on guys, it happens. But Jalen Rager, like, that was a bad miss for Howie Roseman. You don't draft him instead of Justin Jefferson. You got to be smoking. You got to be smoking crack. There's no way you make that mistake. Jack Johnson says, I bet Milton Williams, the rookie, will get a sack on Sunday. Brad Rice says Sirianni recognized that we took foot off gas. It won't happen again. See, we took the foot off the gas. Okay. Greek Warrior says, remember this day when Dillard is a journeyman backup. Years down the road, Dillard is a bust. All right. It remains to be seen. Here's where you're getting me confused at. Y'all act like I'm saying Andre Dillard is the greatest thing since God's green earth. I'm saying the jury's still out on the kid. The jury is still out on the kid. It all remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. East Camden Life. He says Jalen Rager is a waste of a draft like Freddie Mitchell. Greek Warrior says Rager was drafted in the first round. That's overrated. He is not first round material. He was a special teams guy drafted at wide receiver. Huge mistake. It seemed like Greek Warrior like to argue. But anyway, that's a sign of being overvalued. He was overvalued, yes. But overrated is what the fans consider you. Have we ever overrated Jalen Rager? I don't think no one has. He was overvalued, yes. Overrated, no. We've never. In order to be overrated, we have to say you're better than what you really are. His draft stock indicated he was overvalued, but we've never overrated him. That man has not given us anything to say he's overrated. Like that man exactly what he showed us. Booty. Vic says this ain't heaven, fam. Heaven comes with a Lombardi trophy. All right. Okay, Vic. Okay. All right. Right now we walking on the ground right now. Right now we walking up the stairs. Okay. It's a metaphor. Relax. Like, everybody's so literal today. Brad Wright says, I bet if we got Jefferson, we would not have drafted Smitty. I'm gonna compare those two. That regular pick was corrected by not making the same mistake next year. Agreed. JJ, even Jason Peters, he was good before coming to the Eagles, but he's a Hall of Famer because of how he played for the Eagles. Listen, when Jason Peters got drafted, he was a tight end, I think. Jason Peters got drafted as a tight end. Then he was undrafted, as a matter of fact. I think Jason Peters was undrafted. Let me double check that. Jason Peters took time to develop to be this guy he is. Would you have said Jason Peters was a bust when he first came in? Come on now. Jason Peters was undrafted. Undrafted. He was undrafted and was a tight end. Come on, y'all. Would y'all have called Jason Peters a bust? You know, his first few seasons being an offensive lineman, he had to develop, and he became arguably one of the best tackles this game has ever seen. Like, I got to put this up, man. Like, Jason Peters was good for the Bills, but he had to develop into that, you guys. He had to develop. Development is key. Why are we acting like development doesn't need to happen? Guys need to be developed. Eddie Holmes says not everyone had that dog in them first getting to. Let me put that up. Eddie Holmes says something very key. He says not everyone has that dog in them first getting into the league. You're absolutely right. It takes time to earn your stripes in the NFL. It takes time to grow into a man in this NFL, man. East Cannon for Life says Ward needs to start over Rager and make him earn it. I agree with you now. I agree with you on that. I feel like Rager shouldn't even be starting. I would much rather have Greg Ward there because at least Greg Ward know how to get open. Richie says Alex Singleton or Bradley or Johnson going to pick up Taylor snaps while he's on IR. Yeah, most likely what they're going to do is they're going to rotate Alex Singleton and Bradley. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a rotation. JJ says, I think from the beginning, a lot of Eagles fans kept their expectations limited for Rager because he was a reach. Most thought he was early second or late first. That's a fair statement. East Cannon for Life says, yeah, he was a tight end. Yeah. Like, my whole thing is, you guys, man, and look, I'm going to end it with this because, you know, I'm getting a little tired and I want a snack, man. I had a long day. But look, you guys, this Philadelphia Eagles team is in prime position to make a playoff push. We're in prime position. We're in prime position to rebuild this defense with our draft capital. We're in prime position to develop Jalen Hurts to be our franchise quarterback. We're in prime position for Nick Sirianni to be this head coach for a long time. Like, you guys, we have to recognize the fact that Jalen Hurts, yes, he's still developing, but he has shown that he can run his offense. He's shown that he can win games. He's shown that he can put points on the board as well. And he's shown that he's a leader of men. He's a leader of men. He's shown that he can be the X factor on an offense. He's shown that he can literally cause fits for opposing defenses. And we also got to acknowledge that Howie Roseman, whether y'all want to accept it or not, he's doing a pretty good job thus far. Acknowledge it. Accept it. Bask in it. Because y'all know damn well he not going nowhere. He not. Jeffrey Lurie going to keep that man close. Right to the hip. And it's straight like that, you guys. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to my content. And if you guys have been loyal to the channel, loyal to the soul from the very beginning, you already know what my heart is. You know how we get down here at Chalk It Up Sports Philly. You guys have entered the chalk zone. One love. Stay humble. Stay healthy. And most importantly, stay hungry. And fly Eagles fly. And we out.